Yo, what is up beauties? It is your boy, the one and only, the MikeMash, and I'm here today with a brand new video. So as you can probably tell from the title, this video is going to be a Pokemon theory, where I will be discussing what really went down in the Strange House. So brace yourselves, as this is probably going to be a very long but very detailed video, but I hope you guys enjoy it anyway. Now first and foremost, depending on how this video does, I will continue to make more Pokemon theories, because to be honest with you guys, I have a lot of different theories about the Pokemon games, and I would love to share my insights with all of you. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to see more, and without ado, let's get it, let's go! Alright, so to those who aren't aware, the Strange House is basically this small abandoned haunted mansion, located in the eastern side of Unova. This place can only be accessed if you own the copy of Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, and the only way to reach it is by going through the reverse mountain. Only then will you eventually end up at the Arceus Forsaken Strange House. Hold on a second. Why would they even call this place the Strange House? Are you seriously? A place with so much lore and freaking backstory, and you call this the Strange House? I mean, yeah, there are strange things that happened at this house, but you couldn't come up with something better, man? Like, come on. You could have called it like the freaking creepy mansion or something. I have no idea, to be honest. If you guys have better ideas, name it in the comment section below, but come on, man. Strange House? Man, whatever, let's just get back to the point. In hindsight, the whole story revolves around the Ghost Girl and her Abra, who mysteriously disappear on the bridge in Pokemon Black and White. To those who already know, it is said that a Darkrai put the girl and her Abra into a deep nightmare that they couldn't wake up from, which ultimately led to their unfortunate death. Yeah, I know, the Pokemon franchise has a knack of incorporating some really dark stories within the games, but anyways, it is pretty much clear that both Darkrai and Cresselia are well involved in this situation. Well, not really Cresselia, but I'll get to that later. But honestly, I think there is more going on here than just Darkrai putting the girl to sleep and her parents looking for a lunar wing to wake her up. So here's what I'm thinking. Darkrai met the girl and put her and her Abra to sleep, for whatever the reason might be, right? So we already know legendary Pokemon are unknown for the most part. And her parents probably didn't even know about the lunar wing at the time, and looked for other ways to wake up her daughter from her deep sleep. This explains why there are books about Drowsy, Hypno, the move Dream Eater, and the ability Forewarn. The most interesting thing here is the book on the ability Forewarn. It has nothing to do with sleeping nor dreaming, and from a certain perspective it seems pretty useless. So why is it even there? Well, Drowsy and Hypno can both have this ability, and the ability can essentially be a form of precognition. Forewarning does essentially work like precognition after all. It's like a sixth sense. See, having these two Pokemon with this ability would certainly be useful to determine whether or not their daughter is going to get better or worse, while at the same time using them to eat her nightmares to keep her from getting worse. Abra was also helped in this way, as while the Pokemon normally sleeps 18 hours a day anyways, the nightmare was blocking it from accessing its psychic powers. Now you might be asking yourself, if this is a task that could all be done with just one out of the two Pokemon, why did the parents bring in both? Well, it's simple. It's likely that Drowsy was in charge of eating her and her Abra's nightmares to keep them as healthy as possible. Meanwhile, Hypno was trying to wake her up. As a pair of Pokemon who are the masters of sleep and dreams, surely they could figure out a way to end her nightmare and let her wake up. So no, they did not kidnap the Ghost Girl, and no, they did not kill the Ghost Girl and the Abra. None of those speculations are true in that aspect. There aren't too many of them, but I'm just saying. Instead, this was the first strategy the parents used to try to wake her up. As their daughter's health got worse, however, despite Hypno and Drowsy's work, they became more and more desperate and bought more books on Pokemon related to sleep and dreams, specifically on the Pokemon who did this to her, Darkrai. Well, while learning about Darkrai, this led them to eventually discovering Cresselia and its lunar wing. This piece of information probably gave them new hope, and they began searching for this rare item. However, that's when an unexpected turn of events occurred. While they were looking for the lunar wing, The nightmares got steadily worse and more powerful, even with the drowsy and Hypno trying to contain them. Eventually, the girl's crying spirit called out for help, growing more powerful as the nightmares did. Being asleep and incapable of waking up, this cry for help was not able to be heard audibly. However, it was heard spiritually. That's what I think, at least, and that probably explains why ghost-type Pokemon came to the strange house in the first place. With her parents out looking for the Lunar Wing, the ghost Pokemon arrived and noticed that a Drowsy and a Hypno were with the girl. Thinking that they were the reason for her cry for help, they killed the two Pokemon in hopes of saving her. Abra likely died first in this case. Being around so many ghost Pokemon and being a psychic type, it wasn't very healthy, especially in its weakened condition. The Abra spirit probably only lingered until the girl herself died, moving on out of grief. The fate of Abra in this case is irrelevant here. The girl, however, unfortunately came to face her fate and died as well. Her constant struggling against the nightmares and her spirit calling out for help allowed the spirit to become powerful enough to linger and manifest a visual form of her old self. The presence of ghosts likely helped her with this, so in a sense, it came out as a kind of good thing. Well, not exactly. Her parents finally found the Lunar Wing and arrived back home, only to see their home inhabited by ghost Pokemon. Once reaching up to their dead daughter's corpse, they finally found that she, the Drowsy, and Hypno, as well as their daughters Abra, were all dead. They informed the authorities, and the corpses were all removed with some trouble along the way, as the ghost-type Pokemon still tried to protect the girl, not fully understanding the concept of death. The Lunar Wing was likely left behind in disgust, as they retrieved their daughter's corpse, while its presence only reminding the parents that they were just a little too late. The strange house was abandoned, and left to the ghost Pokemon as a habitat to them, since it was determined that the ghost Pokemon did not in fact kill the Abra and the girl. And from there, the authorities simply deduced the ghost killed Drowsy and Hypno, thinking they were helping her. It also makes sense, as there would be no point of still having their mansion if they had no more children left. It's not confirmed if that girl was the only child. However, it's possible that they moved away due to the fact that they were wealthy enough to afford it on their own. I mean, how else would you afford a mansion, right? So that wasn't really the issue. Money wasn't the problem here. Getting away from the house would have been an attempt to move away from the house to escape the grief and misery that the house gave them. Just giving them that constant reminder that they were just too late to save their daughter's life. Unfortunately, that would only continue to haunt them for the rest of their lives. And as time went by, other Pokemon such as Raticate and Golbat eventually inhabited the house, finding their way home. I mean, that seems to be kind of common. Same thing happened in the Pokemon Mansion, as you can find lots of Raticate, especially the Raticate. The girl's spirit eventually wanted to return the Lunar Wing to Cresselia because she didn't want to blame Darkrai for what may or may have not been self-defense on its part. She may also felt it was unfair to Cresselia that this Lunar Wing was being taken for no reason in the end, so as a result she wanted to return it, to show that she had no hard feelings about what the Darkrai did to her, and to give back what was taken from Cresselia. Now here's when you come in. When you, the main protagonist, arrive at the strange house in Black 2 and White 2 and obtain the Lunar Wing, she tells you to hold on to it and make good use of it, as in the end she really didn't need it. Additionally, in Black and White, it was revealed that she couldn't maintain her ghost form for very long, vanishing as soon as the main character or whoever they were got near them, disrupting what little control over her form that she had so far away from the site of her death. She eventually senses that the Black 2 and White 2 protagonists did as she asked and moved on. The lingering power of her powerful spirit and the presence of ghost Pokemon amplifying it is likely what caused all the strange furniture shaking in the strange house. So that all kind of makes sense on why the puzzle and all that random furniture would be out of place every time you went in. It kind of makes sense now when you all put this together. Sadly, things were just never the same again. But hey, that's just a theory, a game theory. Thanks for watching.
Wow, MikeMash, you just completely ripped off MatPat and game theory. Hashtag unsubscribing, hashtag disliking all your videos, hashtag jump off a bridge.
Also, you want me to disappear? Just like the ghost girl? Nah, I'm just joking. No, but I had to add that in the end. But for real though, this was a really long theory, and thank you so much for sticking around until the end. I will try to make sure that my theories are a bit shorter than this one, but this is a theory that needed to be put to rest, and I don't really think that I completely did, but I hope that it answered some of the questions that remain unanswered, and this is kind of like my perspective of the thing. Feel free to give me your opinion in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about this theory. Do you have your own on the strange house? Let me know in the comment section below. For all I know, there may even be more to the story than I have even imagined. Or never mind you guys alone. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. This has been the MikeMash, and I'm signing out. Peace.